So we're here with Slow Talk, and we have a special guest today, don't we, James?
Martha, you brought somebody
I
special
did.
in with you, and I'm really excited about our audience meeting her and some event that's coming up.
Right. This is Serafina Madonna. She is part of the Madonna family, of course, and there she's throwing a horse show. Her first horse show, a series of them, starting spring, right?
Yeah.
Spring. When's your first show?
So the first show is going to be March 4th, and we're going to be hosting like a barbecue, and Jack's Helping Hands is going to be there, so we can help support them. We're mainly going to be helping support their new program, which is called Little Riders, and basically it's going to help.
So Jack Helping Hands is what they do. Is they help underprivileged children who are ill and the parents.
It's a
and
great
all that.
organization.
Yeah, and so they raise a lot of funds, and
Uh-huh.
this is part of them. We're out there supporting what they're doing. Great.
Yeah.
They have a horse program, and they're building a really beautiful facility in Napomo. They're almost got finals. So all the horse activities are going to move north.
Okay.
So the money is going to go towards that project of the equestrian side of the project. They do all other things too. The horses, feeding children, clothing, and whatever the people children are suffering from some kind of illness or cancer or something like that.
So it's a comprehensive organization that meets a lot of needs.
Right, and it has a lot of needs, but it's about education and getting and contributing at some level. So as Serafina is putting forth this horse show, it's her dream. She has the beautiful ranch to do it. So this is her first series. She plans to make this a annual event. We have 3 horse shows this year, and then there'll be 3 next year or 4 next year as it grows. So we're very excited. So Serafina, tell us a little bit about your horse background.
So I've done horses for my whole life. I've kind of done.
Grew up with horses, huh?
I grew up with the horses, and my parents would always send me into this like horse camp every year. And then one day I was like, I want to like start competing. So I got my dad to sneak me to the shows because my mom was like, no, like she's not ready. And so my mom, or
Your
my
mom
dad,
had a little
gotta love her
apprehension,
mom.
huh?
yeah,
right?
she was very overprotective.
She had the reins pulled back a little bit.
Mine
huh?
was reversed. She was tossing me on the horse.
Yeah.
So you got going to the horses. You told me a cute little story that really made you connect to the horses. Do you want to share that?
Yeah.
That's
So
a sweet story.
when I was in 7th grade, I went through this existential crisis, and I became extremely depressed for a very long time, for like a year and a half. And this was the one time my mom was like, okay, I think it's time to get you out to the horses. And so you can connect, because I always had this one horse. We shared a birthday together.
Nice.
She was a day younger than me. And so I thought, I always had this special connection with her. And I was so stressed out. I was so depressed. And I was like, I just want to go see the horses. So I went to go see the horses, and my mom plopped me on my mare, and all my stress went away.
Nice.
I was like, what's the point of life? And I was like, usually that question would like stress me out. And everything melted away.
Wow.
My depression melted away, my anxiety melted away, and then I was just like, this is my purpose in life, and this is my point of life, is to be here with the horses and to make the best out of it. No matter where I go, it's always going to be with horses.
So-
Safina, how old were you when this first happened, this first introduction? I might have missed it here.
I was in 7th grade, so
11, 12.
yeah,
Right there.
around that.
Yeah.
We're not counting. Well, horses are near and dear to me as well. I had an equine therapy program down in San Diego. I continue to be part of that here with Jack's Helping Hand, and then working with the horse shows, and of course supporting you and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And we think it's a great thing because we have big horse shows out there, but we don't really get to play in the community of the horse shows. So Serafina has opened the ranch up so as locals can actually come down and ride together, and people will come from other places, but on the most part it's for the locals. Wouldn't you say? What that was your intent?
Yeah. So my main point was, there was some shows in San Ynez and some in Paso. There hasn't really been any in SLO, and the one in San Ynez went out. So, the next place to go would be Paso or Tulare, and that's really far away for the people in San Ynez. And I'm like, you know what? Like, San Luis Obispo is like the perfect spot because you can get people from Paso
Yes.
and from San Ynez.
It's central.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a good location. There's good weather.
Yeah.
So I was like, why not
Great places to eat, dine, and stay.
Yeah, exactly.
Had to throw that in.
Do you know of one?
Well, actually, here's something. I want to put a plug in because I was sharing with Serafina just before we started streaming. My wife and I celebrated our 37th wedding anniversary a couple of months ago, dating ourselves here big time. But we had been to Madonna Inn many times, been to jazz events, been to the coffee shop, had the cake. Famous pink chocolate cake. Had never been to the steakhouse. I took my wife out for our dinner, and we just had such a great time. Such a magical place. So yeah, there is places to go in San Luis Obispo. Will the event be right there at Madonna Meadows?
It will not be. It will be at the Madonna Ranch, which
Okay.
is on the other side of the mountain.
Okay. Is it down Foothill?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm trying to get a visual here for all of our listeners that are local.
Yeah, it's directly down Foothill across from the
Bishops.
so right, almost
Nice.
directly across. So
Nice.
yeah, it's a
Gosh,
beautiful
everything
little
is
spot.
looking so green right
gonna be
now.
great.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a beautiful show.
Yeah.
Right. So we have Jack's Helping Hand's going to be there. We're going to have other vendors going to be there. How many classes are we having?
There's going to be 10 classes. 8 of the classes are getting buckles because one of them is a practice class, and then the other one's for the youth class, and they're with the high school rodeo program, and they are going to be getting points.
Whoa, I'm gonna have to back up on this. So, for our listeners and for me, a horse show is a bunch of events showing the horses, competition, all the above. All right. Well, I've never really been. I've been to the Lipizzan Stallion show, and I've been to the. I was 6 at the Grand Nationals, but I've never really been to a horse show. So, all the stuff y'all taken for granted. Because Martha, you're involved too, right?
Oh yeah, I ride horses and I compete.
Oh,
so,
she
yeah,
says
we're
that
the
so
same
smooth.
thing.
Yeah, right. Horses. But this is a language and a culture, all of its own. Talk about all the details. Frame a horse show for our listeners, because I think you live this world, but I think this is new for us.
Yeah, so basically, like, when you go to a horse show, there's... the main thing is, like, you go there to show your horse and to show off, hey, this is how good my horse is. We are a great pair together, and we can communicate really well. And for each sport, it's different. This one is ring cow horse, so it's how well you can do in a pattern, and then take that to the next level by, hey, you can, control your horse. Can you control the cow too? So there's going to be food. I thought it would be really nice to have like a little barbecue after for the awards so everybody can like bask in their glory. Hey, look what I won.
Hand out.
So it's going to include
yeah.
a barbecue
Right?
also, an afterglow type of party.
Yeah, exactly. And there's going to be like a food truck and with coffee so nobody's cranky in the morning.
Are you both going to be showing horses at this event, or just involved in helping the
I'll
event?
you work these shows, so I'm working
Okay.
next. I show other shows we can show up, but this one I'm here to work and make sure
serve.
it goes. Make sure things go smoothly and
Yeah.
make sure things happen. And Slow
How-
Talk's going to be there supporting us a little bit.
Absolutely. Martha, how did you meet Serafina?
Serafina.
I'm sorry, Serafina. Make sure I get this right.
All right.
Martha, how did you
Serafina.
meet Serafina? Through
Well,
the,
she's through mutual friends, and
Nice.
I heard she was putting on the show. I've done many at my ranch, and it's kind of second nature to me. And I just said, "Let me help you, because I know how to do these things. I don't." It's all the little things that behind it. It's like any production, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we have shows, we have music productions. There's just all the prep behind it, so people come and it becomes like seamless.
All the
and they
stuff
don't
that-
really know. I mean, we have to take care of the cows. We have judges. We have to keep things clean. We have to keep the car going.
A lot of balls in the air at the
I mean,
same
it's just
time.
a lot of moving parts. And then
Yeah.
you're working with the animals or the horses. So we have to keep them safe, people around them safe, and then provide a good riding facility where we have a good
Mm-hmm.
judge. Now, we work all year long. We live for this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Serafina, we live to get into that pen for 4 minutes.
Really, that's the anticipation, the focus. So it's like a mini Olympics in a sense. You train and train and train, practice,
Right.
And then you have a 4-minute
You got
window
3 to 4 minute fame.
for
and
each of the
that's it.
events. Wow.
And then we do it again. So that's the fun part, because we get to gauge how well we're doing, because we're working with the horse. We become one with the horse, wouldn't you say? We have to
Oh, yeah.
tell us about the partnership of the horse. What are you doing every day?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not just like, hey, I have a really nice horse, watch me work it. It's more of like, do you connect with that horse? Because every person and every horse has different buttons. There's, some horses are very sensitive. Other horses you have to encourage more. it's just like people. There's lazier people, and then there's more hyper people.
I like what you said about every horse and every person has different buttons.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. But it's true. There is that commonality between horses. And then, of course, there's the whole horse and rider relationship.
Yeah, exactly. And some people have a great relationship with their horse. I have my one horse, Maddie, and she's my heart horse. And
My heart horse. What does that mean?
she's like my very special horse. I have an extreme bond with her. And I remember I was like trying to teach one of my friends, hey, like, let's put you on a nice horse, because her horse is kind of crazy. So I was like, just
Kind of crazy.
let's just like, this is what a nice horse feels like. And she hated my horse. And I was like, really? And she was like, no, she just wants to take off. And I'm like, well, you just have to calm her down. If you have high anxiety, she's going to have high anxiety.
Yeah.
So it's different. Some people, depending on the horse, I like a hotter horse. I like one that is very hyper, and I would rather have to hold back than ask to keep going.
That's a good fit for you and your style,
Yeah.
but it may not be. I think what I'm hearing you saying, it may not be a good fit for all.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I'm on the other end of the continuum.
Okay.
And I like that because I'm the old lady, right? And
Okay.
so okay, let's just kind of do that. And I get one really trained, but she has to be quiet.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
want to be fussing, but her at your age, I did. It was like, oh, the hotter the better. We want to do that, right?
So it's
'Cause
the
a
writer's choices, the writer's needs.
Well, we hope, right?
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. The horse's
One would
needs.
hope, because you buy these horses and they get you fall in love with it for one reason or another. And each horse brings its gift
Yeah.
of your lesson anyway. Just like people, they come into your life for a reason and they give you gifts. And so I'm very big around that. But you got to team up with this horse. You have to get out there, and you're our team, riding in their patterns. We're asked to do a pattern, just like an ice skating pattern.
Yes,
And
yes.
we're scored on it.
Yeah.
And we get pluses and minuses, just like we would the best relationship I can give it to is like ice skating.
Yeah.
So if you're out ice skating, they have a certain elements they have to do.
So I've ridden horses maybe 10, 15 times in my life, all different age groups. First time was in Modesto. From San Francisco to Modesto was a bit of a trip as a kid. My dad had a barber, took me down. I'll never forget just sitting. I don't think I rode the horse that day. I think I just sat on the horse. But at 6 years old, it made a strong connection. Then Golden Gate Park, going out and riding the horses in the park. Then on the beach. And then I think in Texas somewhere. I may have to come to the horse show and get up on a horse.
They call that riding.
Is that what we call it?
You guys call it riding.
But I have to
Wow.
tell you a funny story. I was on a ranch in Turlock, California. We were working there at an almond peach orchard, and somebody brought a horse out, and I was standing there, and there was somebody moving too fast. The horse quartered and kicked me in the back of the
Oh, we're
calf.
sorry about that.
So I found out. Now, there's two things that happened that day. I found out what horsepower was all about, because they talk about horsepower in cars. But I understand now that 1 horsepower is really 7. Have you heard this? I'm getting off into the weeds here. But I guess for horsepower, there's some ratio of 7 to 1 in horsepower. Anyway, bottom line, when that horse kicked me, I had full respect for the strength of a horse.
Well,
I
1,200
wasn't
pounds
that close.
plus, yeah.
Well, I wasn't
Yeah.
that close to horses in general, right? So I'm kind of a newbie, a country boy, for lack of a better term. The horse quartered. It wasn't my fault. I didn't freak the horse out. Somebody else was moving. The horse turned. I happened to be the target. He let that foot up. Oh my gosh, I had the biggest bruise. But I had an impact from that horse, and I realized how strong of an animal they are.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
and they're smart. They can read you pretty well. For us, because we're in the competition side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many
They're
levels.
smart. They
and I
can
do the
read you.
healing side of it too.
Yeah.
So you can talk to that by the nature of your
Yeah.
relationships with them. We build these relationships with these horses, but we still have such an adore. We love these horses, and when we take really good care of, they're our friends, they're our teammates, right?
Yeah.
And we take, they're kind of our life. So it's a passion when someone meets a horse girl. They're kind of like, okay, because we know we're half the time you're spending your time, because we've spent our time at the barn. That's our fun time.
So horses, talk about horses are smart. Horses can read people. I think there's a lot of folks that have little contact with horses that don't even understand. I have a bit, but don't even understand what you're saying. What does that mean, that horses can read people?
Well,
They're
we
intelligent?
could put it back to because we're doing a cow horse show.
Okay.
So let's talk about it, how it's related to the cow horse show.
All right.
With you riding the horses and how they read the cow, and you want to
Oh, yeah.
share that a little bit?
Yeah. So basically, just like horses can read people, horses can also, they can read us, they can read the cows, and it's up to us to read the cow as well. Like, my horse, very, very cowy. Like, he loves cows.
Very
Like,
comfortable with cows.
He's very comfortable with them, and he knows how to read them really
well, that's
well.
the one you want at the show with the cows, the one that's comfortable with the cows.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah. He's done really well for me, and it's not just him, though, because, like, I remember when I first got on him, I wasn't used to him, and so I would make him turn too quickly, and then he'd be ahead of it, and then he'd be behind it, and I was like, I know I can read the cow, and he's like, my trainer was like, you're not reading the cow, like, you're just pointing and going, and I'm like, okay, you're right. And he's like, trust your horse a little bit more and encourage him based on what he does. And I was like, okay. And right when I did that,
It changed.
it was so much
Just
better.
that little tip right there
Yeah.
of working with your horse and letting the horse work with the cow.
Yeah, but like,
Fascinating.
if a horse doesn't like the cows, like I have another horse she's an orphan baby, and she's just been cut on cows, and she doesn't care for it. She's very slow, and she doesn't like it that much.
Yeah.
Which means I need to help her out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's definitely different with each horse, but it definitely has to do with, like, you have to read your horse as the horse has to read the cow. You're like, okay, so my horse is going to, like, my orphan, she's going to be a little bit more delayed.
Yeah.
So I have to encourage her a little bit earlier. As of my horse who's very cowy, I could be like, okay, do what you want to do, and I'll encourage you whatever you do.
Yeah. And
So-
this metaphor is back into the human nature, though, doesn't it? 'Cause she has horse is a little delayed, needs a little bit more, hand holding, a little bit more showing. And this is how it all transfers back to the human being, that the horses kind of it's a kind of a give and take. It's a very equitable trade.
So following up on the equitable trade, the feel of the horse, if you walk up, Serafina, and you're having a really bad day and yet you have to go do some stuff with your horse, from what I'm hearing, the horse is going to read that, going to react, and then you have to kind of shift gears to get into a better vibe for the horse
yeah.
to...
If you want a
Okay.
better ride.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I think it kind of depends, because, like, depending on the horse that I'm on, like, say on, like, Maddie, my heart horse, I mean, if I'm having a really bad day, she goes into protective mode, and she's very soft with me in a sense. She, like, if I'm like, okay, well, we have to go really fast because we have to catch this cow or something like that, she'll be like, okay, I'll do whatever you want. If I was having a good day, though, she'd be like, no, I might try to buck you off today.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So we read horses. Horses read people. It's a two-way street.
Absolutely. It's
Oh,
very
yes.
much so.
And I would imagine as the relationship grows, the longer you have the horse, the more the horse learns about you and vice versa.
Yeah.
So if it's a bad day to start off with, doesn't mean it's always going to be bad.
No, they can come. You work it out. Like if I'm having a bad day, I'm gonna go hang out with my horse. They kind of know.
See,
yeah.
the only
Yeah,
thing I
they
can
can
relate
read
that
it.
to is a dog. I had a dog for 7 or 8 years, my best friend. They say dogs are man's best friend. In my case, it really was. And dog got sick and we had to put it down, but that had a special place. And the dog, crazy thing, I don't know how horses are, the dog would know when I was coming home 30 minutes prior. My wife said it would, and it could be 3, 5, 7 o'clock at night. And the dog would go 30 minutes and just be there. Do you experience those kind of things with
My
horses?
horse whinnies
Yeah.
when she sees me.
Does what?
She
Yeah.
whinnies. She'll say hi. She'll like
Oh,
perk her
yeah.
ears up and like whinny towards me and go, oh hey, she's here.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, my
yeah.
horse knows my truck.
Yeah.
Like, I'll come in, and all of a sudden I see her galloping along. She's like, Mom,
Yeah.
I'm here.
These are our internal conversations we have with our horses because we have that kind of relationship with
Yeah.
them. We
And then
really do.
conversely, if somebody walks up, like my situation where somebody was just acting out, I don't even think they were aware of their impact. I was aware because I got kicked. But, but I imagine it's the same type of thing. The horse picks up on that and responds accordingly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So we're really lucky to be having you putting on the show. Super great. I mean, as locals, we're super grateful for it because we don't have to travel.
No, Santa
Yeah.
Ynez
You
or
know,
Paso Robles, a
but-
new thing. When is the show? I might have missed it at the beginning. When is that
It's
actually
going to
gonna-
be March 4th.
So we're praying for good weather for that
Yes,
weekend,
we
right?
are.
Yes.
We've had a lot of rain lately, and maybe that's out of our system for a bit.
Yeah, so I'm really hoping because I've been hearing rumors that it might rain March,
Yeah.
like the beginning week.
Yeah.
So just in case I do have a rain date, that's going to be on April 29th, just in case that happens. But
Like 2 months later.
Yeah, just
Okay.
because so we can get everything settled, make
Nice.
sure that the arena's not too wet because I wouldn't want any horse to get injured or anything.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like a great location.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be fun. It's
Wait, is this the first horse show at that location?
No,
the-
we did have some cuttings over there
Okay.
a few years ago, but we had a trainer there who put on those shows for us, and he was kind of in charge. So we know we can set up a show, so that's not a problem. But we just haven't had a show in so long because we haven't had a trainer there.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I want to try and do something, which I'm so glad I have Martha to help me because I have no idea what I'm doing.
I'm like calling her.
I'm excited. I want to go down
Poor
the
thing.
avenue of the cause, Jack's Helping Hand for a little bit. How did you? I mean, I love events that benefit our community. Just the event, the exposure of horses, the competition is great. But you've added this extra piece, this portion of the funds to go to a nonprofit. How did that happen in your life? Why did you make that decision?
Well, I've always known Bridget Reddy, who was the co-founder of Jack's Helping Hands. She was actually my sister's 5th grade teacher.
Wow.
And so we've kind of always been close family members almost. And I was just thinking, Martha brought up a great point of how it's great to represent the community. And I was like, you know what? This would actually be a really great opportunity to introduce Jack's Helping Hands' new equine program for, cancer patients and autistic kids from age 4 to 21.
Little partners?
Little riders.
Little Riders.
Did I say partners?
No, I think I had that in my brain, and I was trying to clarify what it was called. It was me, my visual.
James, you
memory.
can call it anything you want. The little partners, little riders. They all partner out anyway. So.
Oh, gotcha. Little Riders, the official name.
Yes.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's a great program. They've been going on for years. It's well funded, but they're doing all kinds of things all over this county, and they're really proud and super happy about this new equine program. A facility they're actually built, and it's going to be a playground for kids. They have a adapted playground there down there by Napomo. It's right by the dunes, by the beach, so the weather's really nice.
Excellent.
They have arenas, they have stalls, and they're going to expand their equine program
What
down
a
there.
great resource for kids and folks in our community to have that.
Yeah.
That is really, really neat. Yeah.
So it's very progressive, and we're happy to have them. And this is a great opportunity for us locals to come play with each other.
Let me see that flyer again.
That's
We're
a
going to
great
put that out
flyer
there
and-
for our folks to see. And my experience with horses, I just remembered when I directed a foster agency in San Luis Obispo County for about 10 years. We had some groups up in. I'm trying to think. It was a guitarist and his wife, and I'm trying to think of the individual. But the important part of the story is they allowed the kids to come up to the ranch. They got to connect with the horses, much like our
Michael
friend.
McMill, the same thing.
Same type of thing.
All the same
So I
party, yeah.
realized that, this has been about 10, 15 years, but I had a chance firsthand to see foster kids and their families go and to be able to connect for the first time. Most of them, the vast majority, without
It's beautiful work.
exception, connect with the horses and get that impact in their first steps. That's really powerful.
It is.
Yeah.
And we may have the 4-H club there as well. You don't know that yet.
Oh.
But they may be represented too, so they're coming
Nice.
in. So we're opening it up to the community to let people know it's a great opportunity. It's great people. It's great reason, and
I love it when
Gonna have
groups in
fun.
our community, I love it when individuals collaborate, share gifts for a greater cause. And then I love it when nonprofits or community organizations or public-private partnerships can work together. Because I think everybody's enriched through that, And
Oh, yeah.
and that's great when a business can get their name out there, where they put their investment in. And are there some sponsors so far that you have that have helped you out, or
Oh yeah, yeah.
we
We
want to make sure to mention those today?
Oh yeah. So we've got a few sponsorships. my dad has sponsored me and my significant other. So John Madonna Construction and LJE, Logan Jones Earthworks, has also
Ooh.
been a sponsor.
Nice.
You are in charge of the sponsorships. Would you like to say the others?
Well, it's usually horse related. So it'll be people from Blankets. We have a good company. I can't remember their name right now. Their booth's going to be there. They do leather goods, halters, saddles, and all that. And then we have another group that does embroidery and health food type things for the horses. And so there'll be a couple of your friends will be there doing their artwork. Which one is that?
Yeah. So my friend Lindsay Egbert, she has amazing artwork, and she's just starting. Deciding to try and do commissions, so she's gonna be a vendor there.
Does she paint horses?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course
Does she do a lot of livestock, or horses are her thing?
horses? But she also, like I remember for Christmas, she painted me this beautiful picture of me and my horse slide stopping. And it was beautiful. I'm like, you need to make a business out of
You
this.
gotta send us a picture. We'll put it up on the website.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fun
that'd be awesome.
for people to see that. You know. Yeah,
So
'cause this is going to actually be on YouTube. We want to remind our listeners that this live stream will be on YouTube. Please subscribe to the Slow Talk YouTube channel, and we'll be able to have that up there, and you'll be able to get the next time they visit.
Well,
you'll be
Slow
able to see
Talk's
that.
one of the sponsors. Thank you very much.
I love it. I love
Right?
it.
Well,
There's our sponsor. Lady.
There we are. So
Yeah, we love community events. We
Right?
love things where people get to come together and get enriched, and then a cause benefits. It's a win-win-win
absolutely,
partnership.
it's just so important.
Yeah.
And I really thank you for coming in and letting everybody know what you're doing. It's a great thing.
Well, and that's
we
part
work-
of
we
the
work
slow
together.
good life, and it's part of living the slow county life. There's some unique features: the weather, the people, the locations, the interest. All those things come together, and there's an energy here in this county. That's why people travel here, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we get to live here, you guys. we
Lucky
get to
us,
live the
right?
slow good life, the slow county life, and yeah,
The slow horse life.
the slow
Yeah.
horse life. Martha, your horses. How many horses do you
I
have?
had just one now. I
Okay,
have
what's
a little
the name of your
my
horse?
little JoJo. She's a reiner.
Little JoJo.
I'm going
Now,
to
is
turn
that
her
the name
into
of
a
the
rain
horse? Little
cow horse.
JoJo?
I have to now.
Okay,
I
a
call her
reiner.
JoJo.
Okay.
But that's another discipline. It's an Olympic discipline, and it
Yeah.
does the patterns. I just don't do the cows.
Okay.
And this year I'll probably put her on the cows so I can play more with the gang. Right.
And
Oh,
then,
yes.
and then you've got 2 horses, Serafina.
I own 3, but
The heart horse, which is called.
Maddie.
Okay, I'm trying to categorize these. now.
Yeah, so Maddie's my heart horse.
Okay.
She's going to be turning 21 with me this year.
Wow. Congratulations.
And then I've got my show horse, Tex, my super cowy money-making horse, I guess. I'm going to the world with him this year. In February, I'll be showing at the World Championships in Texas.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. That's a big haul.
Yeah.
A lot of work goes into that you're already engaged in. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I wish it was an Olympic sport.
Well, it may be, right?
Okay.
I mean-
I'm going to tell her what raining is.
I know raining is, but I want the cows.
I know you do. It's a rainer and cow thing.
Well, look, they've added other sports, so hey, the jury's still
I'm
out
just
on
teasing.
that, right? Let's start that program, right? Hashtag, and make that happen in the Olympics.
They do
Oh,
reining in the cow. They also do reining. They do the reining work as well, but they also add the cows in. So
I know, we need to add the cows.
Nationals in Texas. In which month is that?
It's going to be February from the 10th to the 20th.
You're talking next month.
Yep.
We're right around the corner here.
Oh, yeah.
You're a
Shout it
busy,
out.
and you're doing the horse show right after that.
Yep.
Maybe in April if rain.
Yeah.
What else do you have going on? You're not too busy, are you?
Oh, I'm a huge showgirl. I go out to all the shows, all the local shows. I'll go to Tulare.
Wow.
Last year I went to Idaho, which was a crazy haul for me. I didn't expect to go to Idaho, but I ended up going. So I've been taking a break from Cal Poly.
What do you? Now that's a great place for the interview. What are you studying at Cal Poly?
I'm in ag communications right now, but
Yeah.
I've been wanting to transfer to ag business, because I think that there's more in for me in that.
Discipline or that study?
Yeah, in that major.
Yeah. How long have you been studying at Cal Poly, Serafina?
For about 2 years.
Okay, right in the middle.
Yeah, so it was hard. I was like, I need a break because I loaded myself with all these classes and I was like, I need a break.
So you're taking that break right now to be able to do these things.
Yeah, and I want to see how I like it. And, starting anything is the hardest step to do.
Absolutely.
So, may as well take the time, like, while I have this time, let's make something of it and
like that.
possibly set up a future for myself and the people around me.
Gosh, I think
and
Sam.
contributing, right?
Yeah, and I
you're
think
contributing a lot this year in your
really
time
are.
off. Yeah.
And San Luis Obispo is very right. People are coming back out. We just had just before you interview Kenny Lee Lewis and his wife Diane Steinberg Lewis, and they were talking about the pent up demand for people to go to things. You know, the numbers, the ticket sales. We really hope that a big crowd comes out to support this.
I hope so too.
And then we'll have merchandise too, so that people can get their little hats with.
That's great.
You know,
That's
Yeah.
to
with the
commemorate
logo.
the event and to be able to
Right.
get the
Be
word
part
out.
of it.
And hopefully this will become a first annual event, like do it every year or
Yeah, I'm
Possibly.
hoping to have like at least 3 shows a year, and then
3 a year.
Yeah.
3 a year. All right.
and
all
then
right.
hopefully as it grows, we can start having more, or maybe even making it a sanctioned show, meaning like getting points in order to go to the world, so it can count for that. But for now, we're sticking to small.
Perfect.
And
But for now, you got to go to Paso or Santa Ynez to get those points, right?
Well, yeah, not everybody gets to go to the world. Not everybody gets to go to the world, and not everybody gets to go to these bigger shows. So it gives
Yeah.
us these people who don't have an opportunity that
Yeah.
have the horses. We train hard for them and get to go play
yeah,
and play and get buckles. We all live for those buckles and
I've
nice
seen,
little
I've
prizes.
seen some of those buckles. Those are pretty
Yeah.
cool buckles.
Yeah, they are. So we
Yeah.
live for those, and it's going to be fun. And I'm really happy you're doing it. And we thought we'd just bring you in. And thanks for coming in and sharing your
This-
story.
Yeah,
you.
this has been really, really eye-opening. I'm excited about what you're doing. I love the backstory of how this kind of developed, and
Yeah.
and hey, you have plans to do 3 a year. That's pretty ambitious.
yeah. I was like, one a year is cool, but
Yeah.
if I really enjoy this, and making it available to everybody, so that it's not just, oh, we get to go to this one show and SLO just once a year. They'd be like, oh, I've got this to look forward to as well.
Pick one of them or all of them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if they can't make one, they don't have to wait a whole another year. They can be like, oh, well, actually, this date works well too.
I think we're going to do high points, aren't we, at the end of the year?
Yeah, and then we were also going to do high points. So basically, if you come to all 3 of the shows, whoever does the best point wise gets another buckle.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So if they get the
Or
opportunity
something.
to participate in all 3 and do the best, they're going to be acknowledged for that.
Or maybe a saddle. You never know.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! Oh my god!
I might be
So-
able to get a saddle.
So
we'll
if we
see.
have businesses
yeah.
in the county, so right now,
Right.
let's just say this: if we have businesses in the county and they either want to get involved in the show coming up, either in March or April, depending upon rain, or one of the future 3 shows per year, how can they reach out and get in touch with you, Sarah?
Well, they can get in touch with me.
Right?
Yes.
Up to
Okay,
me
for the
and-
sponsorship?
For the sponsorship, because we have
Great.
a sponsorship committee. We
Martha,
put
give an
committees
email
in-
address for
Well,
us.
just marthatorkington@gmail.
All right, marthatorkington@gmail.com.
That's
All
the
right,
easiest
great.
one.
And you'll send him information on sponsorship.
Absolutely, and we'll just
opportunities.
forward it. That's okay
Yeah.
with you?
I love that.
Yeah, so we're looking for sponsorships to help with Jack's Helping Hand, of course, because all our proceeds, some proceeds will be going to that. They want to put banners up, they can contribute money, or they can sponsor a buckle or
Nice.
some
Nice. A lot of
whatever
good
we
op-
have going.
lot
So
of
lots of
opportunities.
opportunity, and it's going to be all over social media at pretty high level.
Slow
and
Talk is going to
Slow
take
Talk's gonna
pictures and be
sponsor,
there
and
and
we're gonna be
sponsor
there
and put
and-
it on our website and our Instagram. We have Instagram and all those good
Awesome.
things.
we-
Yeah.
we may need crowd control. Not to scare you. No, I think it'll be fine. We're going to have a good time.
Oh, this is
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, looking
This is
forward
going to
to
be
it.
so much fun.
Yeah, she's doing a great job.
I'm so great. We're so grateful for you coming over today and just sharing about the show and your enthusiasm and your gifts, and looking forward to having you coming back and maybe talking post-show what happened and what's ahead. And all the best to you as you travel back, I think, in Texas in February, right around the
Right.
corner. Are you driving out with the trailers and the whole thing?
I'm having my trainer, because I don't have the equipment to drive all the way out there. I think
Gotcha.
I would break down. So I'm having my trainer take my horse, and I'm going to fly,
Okay.
and we're going to see how that goes.
Okay.
Right. We're
Give
going to
a
watch
shot.
it, keep a good eye, and she'll be posting as she goes on her social
That's
media.
great. Well, we're looking forward to that. Serafina, thank you. Great to meet you. All the best to you and your family, and so grateful for your enthusiasm and, the things you do to help make this a better area to live in, the slow good life and living the slow county life.
And bringing our young kids in and bringing
love
our
that.
young community in and letting them know what they're doing. Because a lot of times we bring our age group in and that we've done that and been there. Now we're bringing in the young ones coming in. And
You know
I
what?
think that's a
Passing
good
the
thing.
baton. There
Yeah.
you go.
So we're bringing in. Thank you for that.
love
You know,
that.
you're doing something. So
Yeah,
we're going to
and-
bring more of that in.
And benefiting Jack's Helping Hands at the
Right.
same time,
Right.
which is great.
That's a great thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
It's all the way around. Win, 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 win.
Would you come back in a couple of months and,
Oh,
after
yeah.
the show's over and let us know?
Of course.
We'd look forward to it.
Of course.
Thank you so much. Great
Thank
to meet you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Excellent.
Great.
Martha, thank you
Yeah,
for
it's
bringing
fun. Thanks for letting me
Serafina
have
in
her.
and all your enthusiasm and horse sense and
I know, right?
everything that goes with
Anything
it.
with a horse is like,
We want to thank Quick Tech Computers for being one of our sponsors today. We talked about them in our last session. Check them out online. Chad and team will take care of all your technical needs. They'll do in-home service, in-business service, located in Los Osos, serving the whole county. Also want to thank Slow Talk Podcasting Studio. We create, develop, record, produce, distribute, market podcasts. If you need a podcast, we can help you. If you need podcast consulting, we're here for
we're
you.
here for you. You can come in and talk about your event, and we'll be happy to take that on and what you're doing in your business too, right, James?
And if you would like to put your name on Slow Talk, we have some sponsorship opportunities.
Yeah, always.
Absolutely. Check us out. Send us an email at info@slowtalk.com or call us at 805-234-5056. Gosh, guys, it's been great. We're going to shift gears.
you,
We'll be
James.
back on streaming in about 15 minutes. Stick around. Jim Barnett, piano player extraordinary. He's bringing in his foster daughter today. I think her name is Danielle, and we're going to be talking about foster care and how all that happened.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.